This is Matt for Into Boxing. I'm delighted to be joined by former world champion Enzo Maccarinelli. Enzo, I know you're here for probably support your good friend Ebony Bridges. She's going in a world title fight this weekend. But first off, before we start, how are you? You looking good shape?
Yeah, I feel good. Back training again. Most people know I went to Oslo just before Christmas. Been a long road back, getting there. Positive mind, positive thoughts, like I always preaching all the time. So I got a little bit of shape back, got a little bit of size back. So feeling okay.
Yeah, it's good to see him. We're here in Leeds today. It's been an absolutely belting couple of days in terms of weather. I mean, I'm not totally too far from here, but we don't normally see days like this in the end of March. Right, let's go straight into it. So, world title fight for Ebony Bridges. We sort of touched on it briefly, I believe, at Cardiff, the Eubank fight week. You've seen Ebony today, you've seen Cecilia Roman. I know what you told me then, but as your sort of prediction deviate from what you said, I think you said she'll be the first one to stop her. Have you sort of had a change, or have you still sticking on that?
No, I haven't. It's going to be a hard fight. You know, a lot of people haven't seen Cecilia Roman. Yeah. She's a tough Argentinian. They breed them tough out there. I won my world title against an Argentinian. Yeah. Everybody knows what she's up against. You know, she got offered 2 or 3 fights which were a lot less tough than Maria Cecilia Roman, but it's a world title. That's what she wanted. That's what she craved. That's what she's taken. She looks in fantastic shape, as she always does, but she looks happy. She looks mentally there. It's going to be a tough fight, and but no, I'm sticking with my prediction. I do believe Ebony could stop her. She's got to go about it the right way. She can't be careless, can't be reckless, but I do think she's going to stop her.
I was speaking to Mark Tibbs about this, and he seems to have like a bit of a buzz around him. I think it's his first female fighter, and obviously she's fighting for a world title. And I spoke to him and I said, was it just about sort of finessing Ebony? Because she likes to sit in the pocket and have a bang. Like, she's very like Mexican style, in and out. And he was basically saying, yeah, it's just about getting to like work smarter, use the jab. Do you think we've only seen a little bit of what Ebony can do, and that we've got another side to her, another couple of gears that she can go through?
I know you haven't seen the best of Ebony. You know, I've seen her in the gym. I've seen her for a while. No one's come close to seeing what she can actually do. You know, that's why she got a lot of naysayers, because she fights in the pocket and stuff like that. People don't recognise she has got good defence. She rolls her head well. She uses arms. And speaking of Mark myself earlier, you know, they told me the plan. I think it's a good plan. You know, something I would probably come up with as well. I think he's spot on. And you know, you can't change someone who's got a certain style. You can't change them too much, but like a little bit of finesse, a little bit of structure, a little bit of planning goes a long way. You know, the good thing is they both know it's going to be a tough fight. The problem would be if she thinks it was going to be easy, then it will sort of run into sort of trouble. But if you think it's going to be a tough fight, you're there, you're prepared, the nerves are kicking in, which are great. You know, the only thing she's got to do is she can't let the crowd get to her. You know, she's a fan favourite. It's going to be a massive crowd, just co-main event. It's going to be a massive crowd. See how she reacts to that. And you know, I'm sure she's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be a belting fight. And obviously it'd be, I'd say a new world champion going back to Australia, but she's practically Leeds now, isn't she?
Yeah, she's an adopted Brit almost. She's here all the time anyway. I was going to touch on, I spoke to her and I said, do you sort of feel, not the pressure of the occasion, but you can almost get, not overwhelmed, but get too ahead of yourself because it's that exciting, and she's going to experience in that arena, I've experienced it before, going to that arena, Leeds fans get behind their own, and when she gets in the ring, she's not just like a part of the way up the bill, she's now co-main event as well, so she's going to be on getting the crowd warmed up even more just before Josh comes on. How important is it for her to not block out, but to embrace the occasion, but to not let that get on top of her and make her deviate from any game plan, because that can happen to the best of her?
Yeah, I think she's too clever for that, but again, you don't know how she's going to react when she goes in there and she hears the crowd. You know, she was headingly last time. I know she was buzzing. You know, people chanting her name and stuff like that. Something. I think when she boxed before, it was behind closed doors. I think the fight camp was still only not many there. The fight with Courtney was closed doors. So that was her first big crowd she ever boxed in front of. I wouldn't say it got to her, I think, but she felt this. She felt sort of a bit of pressure. But you know, she's done that now. She's gone through that. But it's going to be something else on Saturday night. You know, co-main event just before Josh. You're all getting ready for Josh. All the fans all there. Been drinking all day. You know, it's going to be a mad atmosphere. And like you said, not so much be nervous from it, but she's got to embrace it. She can't react to them. You know, they've got the plan. She can't deviate from the plan.
Yeah.
But she's got to be switched on. She knows that. Mark knows that. She knows that, and that's what's going to get it to that next level.
100%. While we're on the subject of this card, I want to get your feeling on the main event now. Josh Warrington seems to be a guy who he keeps getting written off from one loss, and people talk about, oh, if he loses this fight, you know, where does he go from here? I mean, he's 31. I know there's not particularly any miles on the clock. I'd say it was a bad knockout against Lara, but he came back in the rematch. It's unfortunate the way it ended, and he never got, I think, to show what he was doing, but he made a good start in that fight. What do you expect to happen in that main event? Kiko's coming here with absolutely nothing to lose. He ain't even supposed to be here in many people's eyes, because Galahad was supposed to be able to beat him, and he produced that performance. What do you expect to happen in this main event?
To be honest, I mean, I've been thinking a lot about it, and before the Lara fight, I'd have picked Josh all day long. Yeah. But I know, like you said, he got stopped, but he took a sustained beating in that fight. Yeah. And he done well in the beginning of the second fight, but you could see Lara coming on. You could see him catching him with some shots. You could see it playing out again like the first one. That takes a lot of miles off the clock. Martinez, on the other hand, he's just gone from strength to strength. Yeah. You know, he boxed Kid Galahad. After the first round and a half, I turned over. I thought it was so one-sided. It was a schooling, and you know, I expected to see more of the same. I think it was I can't remember what fight it was on, but it was another fight on another channel, so I was flicking over, and I turned back and during the break I thought, fuck, what's going on with you? Yeah. But you know, I think it's a massive fight, and Kiko believes he won the last fight.
Yeah, I was going to come on to that.
So, and it was a close fight. No matter what people say, it was a close fight, 100%. And Kiko believes that. Kiko believes that he's been written off. But what I've gathered and what I've heard is Kiko's asked for this fight.
Yeah, he's not said you come to Spain, you do this. He says, I'll come to Leeds and I'll fight you in Leeds.
He's asked for it. That says a lot about the man. You know, he wants to not just defend his world title, but he wants to defend it against a man he thinks he beat. So I think it's going to be an amazing atmosphere. And we talk about the crowd, and that could elevate Josh. I don't think it would bother Kiko though.
No,
and this is the thing that sometimes with the crowd, it can rather than elevating the fight that they're cheering for, it can motivate the one. It can motivate the one they're against. And I don't think Kiko gives a toss what's gonna be heard. He can't speak English anyway, so they can call him what he wants. So you know, he's not gonna care. I think I would edge to Josh. I think again it could be another close points decision. I wouldn't say a hometown decision, but if it's close, it's going to go to the own boy. But I could see him getting hurt as well.
It's very interesting because you'd assume whatever happens here, the winner will then. I mean, the natural move would be to go and fight Lee Wood, who was in I think it's the best fight I've seen live with him and Michael Conlan. Unbelievable fight, and that looks like that'll take place at the City Ground. Is it going to be hard, do you think, for Josh maybe to look and think, I'm on the cusp again of getting them big fights and I've just got this? Do you think that's one thing he's got to completely shut out?
Look, that's not a big fight, that's a massive fight. That's a City Ground, that's Ellen Road. You know, summertime, you know, it's a massive fight. And let's be honest, we know Eddie Hearn wants to win tomorrow.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Josh's boy. Yeah. Josh's boy, but ultimately more so for the fight ahead. Yeah. Kiko Wood's a good fight, but it doesn't sell out. It doesn't. No. But it probably does sell out through Wood, but it's not going to go the amounts of press and the coverage that a Warrington and Wood go. I know the fans would love to see Wood. Yeah. So Kiko's here to upset the party, but that's the big thing for Josh now. He get through this fight. He's got a massive fight against Lee Wood, because Lee Wood. I picked Conlan to beat Lee Wood, and I thought I was well on my way. And I actually lost a tenner to someone on Twitter, which I did pay up. But I heard people say that Conlan should have gone on a back foot and boxed his way to victory in the last couple of rounds. He had to put a lot of effort in those first early rounds, those first 6-7 rounds. Yeah. He had to put the effort in, and the determination and will to win of Lee Wood just kept chipping away until Conlan started slowing down. And normally I'm not a big fan of Frotch on the comms, but I thought he was I thought he was great, Dan. I wouldn't say not a big fan. It was just something about him with Lee Wood being his hometown boy. I think it was the last round after he dropped Conlan in the 11th round. The ref broke him up in the 12th round. And what did Frost say? He said, come on, the ref should stay out of this now. Let him set. It was just the most obviously biased commentating, but it actually worked. I thought he was brilliant because he was right.
Yeah, and you don't mind that either as well, and because anyone who watches boxing, you know Carl Frochter's going to have a dog in the race. I mean, and why wouldn't he? Because this is for him seeing the city getting the nights like what he created.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was brilliant. He was so extremely biased to who he wanted to win, but it came across so well, and he was right, and he showed. He showed not his humane side, but he showed that he was a fan.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great.
I think that's important. That I think people think, obviously, people come here, whether it be media, other people as well. Everyone's a fan of the sport, so they've all got an opinion. But when you're on telly broadcasting, you don't always see it. But look, I've got a lot of time for Carl. We did an interview on there at that fight week, and it was, he had me in tears. I was asking, there's a question going around social media: doors or wheels? And he gave me the best answer ever. I think he said something like, well, you've got to take into account the metaphorical door, because there's opportunities that come pass us by, and the doors into jobs, and I just thought, you're a clever bastard.
I think a lot of people don't realise he plays and things.
Of course he does,
and you can see it a mile away. I think the initial time he was the one off, but then he plays and he winds people up, and you can see that side of him. And a lot of people just don't get that sort of sarcasm, that sort of dryness.
Absolutely brilliant. I'll get your thoughts on one more thing before we go. It looks like I think Dillian Whyte's lawyer's gone on TalkSport to say and said there's
just been listening to it.
Yeah, saying there's a lot of problems, something to do with tickets for Dillian Whyte's allocation, and they've not heard anything from that side for a while. What do you make of this? I mean, from the outside looking in, from my point of view, there's questions of, bloody hell, we hope we get to see this fight, but then again you think, is it mind games from their side, just trying to stoke the fire and maybe it upset the A side?
I don't know. I was literally just listening to it before I come down, and I think the question Frank asked, why did you sign the contract? He said if there was no escrow in it, if there was no things of tickets in there, it was nothing. Why did you sign? You're his lawyer. Why did you sign? And then Simon Jordan come in, who he's not always everyone's favourite, but he was straight to the point. Again, why did you sign it? You're blaming him for something he haven't done, and asking for stuff that's not in the contract. But you haven't signed it. You haven't signed it for it to be in. It's just straight. I just really hope we see the fight. I've got a funny feeling. I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's one of them where you see the tickets go. I mean, I know people are questioning Mark on where they've all gone, these tickets, but I think it's a huge fight. I think outside of, I don't know, when we were talking about Fury AJ for a long time, but for me, Dillian's deserved a shot at something, that title, for a hell of a long time. He got back from Povetkin, put that right in the rematch, and let's be honest, two big personalities, two different styles of fighting, and it's really entertaining. And you've got to assume when he does turn up for fight week, Dillian, there will be fireworks, because there's a lot of pent up frustration, and he's been putting that graft in. In terms of the actual fight, then I think we've touched on it before, but what do you see happening? It's hard not to look past Fury because he's rated #1 in the world, but do you fancy Dillian in this fight at all?
No, I'm going to go for Fury. I like Dillian. I think Dillian's a terrific fighter. I just don't. I say I don't see it. It's got to be a point where he has to close the gap quickly. Yeah. He has to close the gap to get inside. He wants to work the body. Can he do it? Because if he can't, I think it's going to play out like Chisora Fury 2. Yeah. Where Chisora couldn't close the gap, he couldn't get in. And let's be honest, Fury's 10 times better than when he was then. Yeah. Fury's a big man who knows how to fight big. Has Fury fought bigger punches than Whyte? Possibly. With Deontay Wilder, definitely. Does that rule out Dillian Whyte knocking Fury out? No, it don't. But it's just that way how he's got to close that gap. Yeah, it's an interesting fight.
Do you think it'd make it more interesting if Tyson approaches it like he approached the second and third Wilder fight and comes forward? Because the assumption is, if Tyson Fury wanted to outbox, switch hit, move around, he could do it till days long against anyone. But if he comes out there and wants to put it on Dillian, now Tyson has been dropped before, and listen, we're not going to go on about Wilder because Wilder could put a horse down, but it's happened before a few times in his career. Do you think, is Dillian going to be looking to land that left hook to try and clear him out in this fight? Is that his money punch?
Right. The difference is with Wilder. Obviously, we
know that is. Yeah.
No one else in the heavyweight division has taken our shot off Deontay Wilder. I think it was the third or fourth round we caught him coming in with the right hand.
Yeah.
It was only Fury's extra weight and his size that have saved him from that loss. When he was younger, when he got knocked out, he was more reckless. He was more.
Unseasoned, maybe.
Possibly that could be the word. He's just reckless, you know. He was going in, he was showing off. That's what showing off, but he was showing up things. I think since he's gone with Andy Lee and Sugar Hill, they've got that Kronk style, where it's a very attacking style. It's a very aggressive style.
Yeah.
But he's doing it right. He's not right against Wilder. He wasn't reckless.
Yeah.
He just got caught. That one time he got caught, and that was a straight right hand. And I remember speaking to John Fury the night they boxed Wilder the second time.
Yeah.
We were working.
You were with BT, would you? That?
Yeah, York Hall. And I said, "What's the plan tonight then?" And he told me, and he was aggressive. He was going to come for. I said, "Surely not." He said, "I'm telling you, Enz." He said, "I'm telling you, he's going to go after him. He's going to do this. He's going to do that." I went, "No, I got no chance." And I watched him tonight. I thought,
What did he say?
Fucking fair play to him. You know, he had his spot on. And I remember John Fury as well. When Tyson fought Otto Waller,
Yeah.
I was speaking to him on a night off camera before we worked on the fight, and he said he might lose tonight. I said, what? And he said he might lose. He said he's too light. He's not doing this right. He said he's going to let him get into him, and he said he's not going to rough him up, but he's going to do mistakes. He's going to get caught. He's going to find it hard tonight. He was absolutely spot on. He's sort of, I know he gets a bad rep of some people, but he knows his son.
He does.
He knows his son. He knows what's good for his son. And I think Fury will be aggressive against Whyte, but I don't think he's going to be reckless. But again, being aggressive gives Whyte that chance.
I think if he does, it makes for an absolute barn burner, because if he does, like you said, you'd say that's where probably Dillion's chances. I think he's an underrated boxer, Dillion, as well, but I think when we talk about boxing skill set in the heavyweight division, you'd probably say Fury would sit at the top. The other heavyweight fight looks like it's probably going to happen now. We'll just finish on this. Usyk and Joshua, with the sad situation in Ukraine, which I mean is bigger than anything anyone's doing in this game. But if that happens next, would you like to see Joshua have an interim against another southpaw to sort of maybe get used to his new trainer? I think he said Angel Fernandez is going to be there with him as main trainer. Would you like to say, for his point of view of best chance of winning the rematch, have that southpaw new trainer in there, get one done, and then go into it, or straight back in?
Ideally for him, yes. I hear people talking about Wilder as an interim. I said that's not happening. I said if you're going to have an interim, it's going to be a southpaw.
Wilder as an interim.
No, it's too much a risk.
Yeah.
But he has to have a southpaw. Yes, so a Luis Ortiz, a Wallin. So ideally, yes. But he's not having it. So the fight's going to be next, apparently. Yeah. So he needs top quality. Maybe bring Luis Ortiz in for sparring.
Yeah.
You know, someone like that. You're not going to mimic Alexander Usyk, but at least the fundamentals of a southpaw, a good quality southpaw, will be the same. I heard the last time he was sparring Dempsey McKean.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, no discredit of Dempsey McKean, but he's nowhere near Alexander Usyk that level yet. He's still starting off. Someone like an Ortiz, who's well known, who's a world level operator, a Cuban southpaw. Yeah. They're all. People are saying about, he looked shot against Charles Martin. No, he didn't. He just got caught. Charles Martin's better than what people think he is.
Yeah, he didn't show everything he can do in Joshua. He just got pinged in there.
He got caught. Big man caught him. He looked nervous. He got caught. But if you're going to bring sparring in, got to be someone like a Luis Ortiz. I wouldn't even say a Wallings. I think Wallings just awkward, but he would be okay. But you need someone high level southpaw. Not going to be as fast, not going to be as nimble as an Alexander Usyk, but the fundamentals is going to be the same. You've got to get your foot on the outside. And Luis Ortiz is a dangerous man as well.
Yeah, 100%. So, who do you see winning the fight?
I'd probably edge towards Usyk again. But I would not write Anthony Joshua off at all. I see people saying, it was a one-sided fight. It wasn't a one-sided fight at all. It wasn't a one-sided. It was a clear winner. A clear winner.
His face told a story.
Yeah, but it was loads of opportunities there for Anthony Joshua. I think what he's got to do, he's got to take away Usyk's counter puncher. And when I say that, if you watch the first round, Usyk made a feint. Joshua threw a shot.
Yeah.
Usyk countered in 2s and 3s, but he countered hard. When you're an aggressive southpaw who's a good counter puncher, you stop people throwing punches, and that's what happened. If you watch like 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds, Joshua was throwing a jab, but it was more of a jab to get back to defend. It wasn't a jab to land, so it was more of a jab to defend himself.
Yeah, like a smoke screen to sort of...
Yeah, it was. He was too frightened of letting it go full out because he got countered. So he needs to take that off him straight away. Same as what Usyk took his aggressiveness off him the first time. It's a very interesting fight, and like I said, I would edge towards Alexander Usyk. I think he's a sublime boxer, and I think he's gonna up his game again. I think Joshua's gonna up his game again, but we have to see what Usyk's mind state is like. With what's going on with his family out there. I'm sure he's going to move his family out of there, but we've got to see what his mindset is like, because him, Lomachenko, you could see they're proud Ukrainians.
Yeah, I'm going to say, and with the Klitschko's there as well, there's things going on there, like I said, that are completely a lot more important than boxing. But look, Enzo, you've given me quite a bit of your time. I appreciate that today. Fingers crossed we'll catch up in the future, and yeah, let's roll on fight night tomorrow.
Top man. Cheers, mate.
Appreciate it.